Good afternoon from not-so-sunny Spain for the final time this weekend. Welcome to Barcelona, race 3 of the penultimate round of the 2025 Italian F4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion together with the Automobile Club of Italy right here in the Catalan capital. Well, it is an overcast afternoon. You can see the cars are on the grid, 36 of them. It is still quite warm, it is still quite humid, but from our position on the 7th floor here in the studio, we can see a very black sky in the background. The clouds are rolling in. We are about to start on a dry track as we take a look at the grid for you first. We'll get to the weather in just a moment. It is Olivieri who starts on pole position alongside Sebastian Weldon. Kin Nakamura, the championship leader, out of grid 3. Max Popoff out of grid 4. He finished 3rd in race 2 this morning. And Gomez, who won this morning, starts alongside Salim Hanna. We go to Andrea Dupé alongside Luca Samalisto, Newman Chi, Alex Powell out of 10, Marcus Sata, the Norwegian, and David Cosma, Christopher Car 13 out of grid 12. Artem Sevarukian, Emily Kotish, he's had an impressive weekend. We watch Kabir Anurag, the Singaporean, Alexander Bondarev, Andrea Kostic, Alexander Ruta, who finished inside the points in race 2 this morning. Teo Schropp, Ludovico Busso, the Sicilian, Jan Kohler, the Czech, Andy Consani, Bart Harrison, Bader Al-Solati. On the 12th row of the grid, that Jensen Motorsport duo. Luca Visoriano, David Walter, Peyton Westcott, Matilda Parts, fighting for the women's trophy, Kirill Kutskov. And from Germany, PC Strange, Phil Collin for AS Motorsport. Guy Albag, Dante Vinci back on 32, Andre Rodriguez, Nathaniel Berabi, Cornelia Olkutska, the Muffy Racing duo, and after not setting a time in qualifying, the German, Elia Weiss, car 39 on grid 36 for Cram Motorsport. Just a moment away from the start here. Word from race control, yes, the track has officially been declared wet. For the moment, it is, well, basically completely dry despite persistent rain throughout the day, interrupting the GT Open International Championship race and the Formula Regional European Championship race, which took place earlier today. But I can tell you, the skies are getting very dark, ominously so, in the background here in Barcelona. Almost, or actually also a couple of drops of rain and some lightning off in the distance, rolling in from central Spain out towards Costa Brava. There is a very real threat that this race will start dry and imminently be a wet, saturated circuit. For the moment, all 36 cars on circuit on the Pirelli slick tyre. No one has elected to gamble on the Pirelli wets, that we are being told. And certainly from our position here, high above the start-finish line, another few flashes of lightning here. No one has elected to gamble on the Pirelli wets. Almost inevitably, the field will need them though. Still a warm afternoon. This is the penultimate round of the 2025 championship. We'll check out the point score situation for you in just a moment. As the 1 minute board goes up, there is Olivieri. Took pole position for races 2 and 3. Finished 5th today. The earlier race, which was won by Gabriel Gomez. Kin Nakamura took his 8th victory of the series to extend his lead in the championship. Gabriel Gomez, his 3rd victory of 2025, 2nd in the series. And Sebastian Weldon, who starts on the outside front row of the grid, the driver from the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, starts grid 2, his 3rd in the championship, as we prepare to set off on a formation lap under a very real threat of a torrential thunderstorm here in Barcelona. Olivieri for RHGP to the right of your screen, waiting for the green flag, which flies now and leads the field away at the exact same moment that a huge flash of lightning in the background lights up the Catalan circuit. This is round 6 of 7 of 2025, the 13th edition of the world's most competitive junior car racing series. The track is dry, and to the left off screen behind the pits, the sky is almost pitch black. It's almost not a question of if, but when. The track is soon saturated unless we get a huge wind gust that blows it out towards Costa Brava and the Mediterranean Sea. The famous circuit built in time to host the 1992 Olympic Games, where Germany beat France and Italy to the gold medal in the 100-kilometre cycling road race. The city immortalised by the late Freddie Mercury in the famous theme song. Host venue of the 25th Olympiad. You can see it is sunny on this side of the circuit as the field go up through turns 3 and 4, but there is lightning flashing off in the background. We'll get a glimpse of that imminently. Of course, host venue for the Spanish Formula One Grand Prix since the early 1990s. We've seen some titanic struggles. Spain will host 2 Formula One Grand Prix races in 2026. The Catalonia Grand Prix and also at Madrid. The Spanish Grand Prix goes back to Madrid for the first time since the early 1980s when it was held at the legendary Jarama circuit. Sunny on that side of the circuit. That's looking out towards the Mediterranean over Barcelona city itself. But behind this camera shot, the sky is black. Despite what you see on your screen, as Sebastian lights up the rears, the American trying to take his 4th victory of 2025, as is this driver, Gabriel Gomez, trying to keep the title chase alive. It is Keen Nakamura-Berta, 289 points. Gabriel Gomez second on 216. Sebastian Weldon on 175. Salim Hanna 138. Powell on 110.26. And the pole sitter, Emanuele Olivieri, is 6th in the championship, which has attracted 46 drivers throughout the season. This is the Italian who starts on pole position. We wait for the start on a dry circuit under threatening skies here in Spain. 36 cars on the grid for the 3rd race of the penultimate round of the 2025 championship. On the centre of your screen, on pole position, the Italian Emanuele Olivieri. Cornelia Olkutska, Elia Weiss slot into position. And now the green flag at the back of the grid. The 5 red lights for the final time here at Barcelona in Spain. We race. Fantastic launch by Sebastian, who sends it from 2nd. Surely the American will take the lead as 36 F4 cars race down the main straight. It is indeed Weldon who goes for position 1. Olivieri from pole position on the outside. Lock up and a touch with Nakamura-Berta. Olivieri goes through into P3. Sebastian with the race lead. A messy start as multiple cars, at least half a dozen, have to take the exit road. They have to go around the bollard. But a relatively speaking clean start. Sebastian Weldon, position 1, under attack from Keen Nakamura-Berta, who made contact with the pole sitter Olivieri off the start. Severulkin going through. There's Andre Dupé right in the mid-pack. A storming start from Sebastian Weldon. But Keen Nakamura-Berta with one hand on the championship trophy is breathing down the neck of his Prema Racing teammate. He's got the run down the inside. Olivieri in the background ahead of Gomez. Weldon on the outside. Now it becomes the inside. The American in position 1. Olivieri. Gomez tries to send it on Emanuele. Weldon now finds some momentum as the field race down into turn 10 for the first time. 2 wide, 3 wide. Emily Cotti going through. Anurag. There's Alexander Ruta ahead of Alexander Bondarev, race winner at Imola. Here's the Williams Jr. He's had a tough weekend here in Barcelona. His final opportunity to get something out of the Spanish weekend as we see off into the gravel. The 23 car for Gensa Motorsport brings it back on track. Nicely held by Artem Stevanukin. Loses a ton of time, was in position 13, but will drop way down the order. He's not the only one into the gravel. Also one of his teammates as Weldon leads, and Gomez goes around the outside of Olivieri. Nakamura Berta in second place. Gomez trying to keep in touch with the driver in second place who leads the championship. The two Prema teammates just behind, Andrea Dupé in 5, Newman Chi in 28. It's almost like a joker lap in the World Rallycross Championship. It's not multiple choice, that first corner. It's not a suggestion. Multiple drivers shortcutting it. They have to go the long way around the bollard and in theory lose some time and not gain an advantage. Whether that's the case, they were flat. Multiple drivers down through turn one. As you see, Luca Samalisto again ahead of the fast-starting Singaporean Kabir Anurag in 19. He's up into position 9. Pulling down into pit lane off screen is Nathaniel Betterby, the Maffey Racing driver. The first to come down into the pits, whether he sustained damage or the Maffey Racing team have elected to gamble, because it is getting dark here in Barcelona despite the sunshine at this part of the circuit. I can tell you these cars almost need headlights here in Spain. There's Teo Schropp with the lockup, the Argentine. Trying to break into the top 10, Marcus Sata, Panama Sport Racing driver. There is Bader Al-Solati just behind his Gensa Motorsport teammate, Bart Harrison. Good start from Bart. He's made up multiple positions already. They're not qualifying so well for this final race of the weekend, but it is Sebastian who leads. Off into the gravel, Marcus Sata. The Norwegian loses the front wing. In fact, it was Ruta, Alexander Ruta, his Panama Sport Racing teammate. Coming down into pit lane. No, it was Sata. I'll get this right. Alexander has come down into pit lane, as has Emily Cotti. Sata did lose the front wing, so it is all happening for the Van Amersfoort Racing team. Marcus without the front wing. Ruta down into pit lane. The rain is only moments away, I promise you, despite what you see on your screen as Sebastian leads. There is Max Popov in car 3. Alex Powell, who's had a tough weekend here in Spain, ahead of Luca Samalisto, but the Mercedes Junior up into P7. An enormous lightning strike over the back of the circuit. I wish the director would bring you these images because it is quite spectacular. The track is dry. We are at full speed. Sebastian Weldon leads. On the third lap here, there is Severukian. Teo Schropp, in fact, in 21, Severukian in 23. Another clap of thunder here as the lightning and the rain, it is only moments away. Sebastian Weldon leads the way from King Nakamura Berta. There is Alex Powell, the Jamaican, on the back of Max Popov. Runs slightly wide off the circuit. A final opportunity for Powell to grab something out of this weekend in Spain. Remember, he won multiple times earlier on in the championship, and you can see King Nakamura Berta running wide. Immediately it checks the left side mirror back to Gabriel Gomez, who won race 2 this morning. Olivieri, Salim Hanna, the top rookie in P5. From Popov, Powell, Kabir Anurag, Samalisto, and Andrea Dupé, the Frenchman in P10. Marcus Sata has just come down into pit lane, as has Phil Collins-Trench. Weldon with the race lead, 1.4 seconds clear. The AS Motorsport team of Phil Collins-Trench, they're putting on Pirelli wet tyres. They're making a stop. The car was not damaged. They've gambled. He was back in the pack. Phil Collins was down in 32nd position. And they've put on Pirelli wet tyres. He's about to leave pit lane as one of the first drivers to put on wets. This just a moment to go. Off into the gravel. The Gensa Motorsport car of Jan Koller from the Czech Republic, the safety car, has come out onto the circuit. This is Teo Schropp, who was fed a wheel and going around Ludovico Busso, the Sicilian, and collecting David Walter. David Cosmo Christopher just went on by. Jan Kohler, David Walters stuck in the gravel, and the safety car comes out. Not for the rain, but for that incident down in turn 1. Now there is light rain falling on the far side of the circuit. The safety car has picked up Sebastian Weldon. Kim Nakamura-Berta in second place, Gabriel Gomez. Olivieri, Salim Hanna, that's the top 5 at the moment. Olivieri going through pole position, but now in P4. This part of the circuit is dry. Strange has rejoined with Pirelli wet tyres. No one else has elected to gamble. Certainly not Sebastian Weldon in position 1 with everything to lose, nothing to gain just yet. As the safety car with the wipers on picks up the race leader from the United States of America. Jan Kohler has made his way down into pit lane, as has Matilda Parts. So we'll see the Matilda AS Motorsport team go to work. They're also putting wets on Matilda's car, fighting for the women's trophy. She's down the order as well in 28th position. You can hear the rain falling on the microphone set around the circuit here. The safety car has picked up the race leader on lap 4 of race 3, round 6, the penultimate race. The penultimate round of the 13th season of the 2025 Italian F4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion, together with the Automobile Club of Italy. The one race outside the national border of Italy, here in Catalonia, here in Spain. Pop off in P6 from Powell in 7, Anurag, Samalista, Dupé, Newman Chi, who's the 3rd rookie. Alexander Bondarev has gone through into position 12. Safety car on the circuit for the moment. It is lightly raining at the far part of the track. Phil Strange is trying to catch up. He may well benefit big time here, because Phil Strange, down in 33rd position, has got wet tyres on. He will catch up to the back of the pack. The R35, the Nissan Godzilla, the safety car. You heard me with some bias talking glowing terms about the Japanese supercar. One thing I did not tell you earlier today is you can there see down into turn 10 how dark it is getting. It's an all-wheel drive machine. And boy, the drivers behind would be praying, wishing that they had the advantage of the variable torque system of that Nissan R35 safety car, which leads the field on now a slightly damp track. Still the safety car out. No word yet from race control, who are waiting to, we suspect, survey the conditions, which are not improving. It is raining at the far part of the circuit. As we pass 1/3 race distance, it is getting very dark. Sebastian Weldon on your screen. You can see the drops of rain on the camera as the field come down the start-finish straight. That's how dark it has rapidly become here in Barcelona in Spain. Kabir Anurag lights up the rears gently. Lucas Amalisto right behind on a greasy circuit. There's Bart Harrison. And Bader Al-Salati, David Cosmo Christopher was between the two Jensen Motorsport drivers. That's DCC. Just to the right of your screen, the PHM Racing team. They go to work. Also, wet tyres. Cornelia Olkutska coming into pit lane. You're forgiven for not believing the introduction when we said on a sunny circuit there was a very big risk of rain. But now look at that. Down into turn 1, and we've got a red flag. The red flag has been flown. It has been directed by the race director, Mr. Dino Lodala. And now it is bucketing down here in Spain. After 5 laps, the race has been red flagged. Sebastian Weldon with the race lead from Kin Nakamura-Berta, Gabriel Gomez, Olivieri, and Salim Hanna. The race in rapidly deteriorating conditions has been red flagged after just 5 racing laps. Well, they say the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain, but as you can see, it is bucketing down right here in Barcelona. What could have been for Phil Strange, the AS Motorsport team, brought their driver in early. He put on the Pirelli wet tyres. But it comes to zero. Monsoon-like conditions here, as the field inevitably will make their way back to pit lane. Behind the safety car, Sebastian Weldon in the race lead. And the race has been red flagged after 10 minutes and 59 seconds. Harrison, there is Bader Al-Sulati. And we're getting word also from race control. That's the ball game, folks. The race will not be resumed. That is the word from race control. Another huge strike of lightning. The rain is pouring down here in the north of Spain. The race will not be resumed. Whether it will be declared, we have raced. There is confirmation at the bottom of your screen. 10 minutes and 59 seconds. Just over 1/3 race distance. 5 laps have been raced. And that's the full-time whistle. Stumps have been declared here in Spain. Sebastian Weldon, after a storming start from second on the grid, will drive back into the pits in position 1, whether it counts for any points at all, let alone half points, almost certainly not maximum points. Not for the first time in the championship's history. We have had a huge downpour, which has brought out the red flag and the premature end of the race. There is Strange going through. PC, Phil Collin from Germany, he's got Pirelli wet tyres on. He's just dawdling around the circuit, no doubt punching the steering wheel, screaming inside his helmet because he was ready to race. The AS Motorsport team, the Andre Slack Motorsport team, with 2 cars here this weekend together with the second German. Matilda parts, Phil Collin goes through, Matilda with Matilda Racing and AS Motorsport, both on Pirelli wet tyres. The track, unraceable, it is almost undrivable. The red flag has been flown, and I told you, all-wheel drive, the 4-wheel drive R35 Nissan safety car just walks back to the pits. Sebastian Weldon just behind. Then it's Kin Nakamura, Gabriel Gomez, Olivieri in P4, Salim Hanna P5, the first rookie from Popov, Powell, Anodak, Samalisto and Andrea Dupé. The standings, that is the race order to the left of your screen. Look down in 33rd position, 32nd in fact, because Matilda and Phil had actually just pitted the AS Motorsport team onto the Pirelli wet tyres. Could not capitalise. Come to sunny Spain. Yeah, right. The penultimate round of the Italian F4 Championship. Here in Catalonia, the home of the Spanish Formula One Grand Prix, we raced under threatening skies. It was sunny earlier today, but look at this, monsoon conditions. The safety car pulls off. Sebastian Weldon drives on through. We don't believe there will be any sort of podium, though I'll stand corrected on that. Down into Parc Ferme, we raced not 11 minutes. And you can see the conditions here in Spain. In Nakamura Berta, regardless of how this race is declared, will take the championship lead into the series final at Misano on the 2nd week of October. Another huge thunderclap thunderclap together with some lightning here. There is Sebastian Keane. They raced for 5 laps. They finished 1-2. after just 11 minutes of racing. Very dark, very wet. Still quite warm here in Spain. It's above 20 degrees Celsius. But as you can see, the conditions have rapidly deteriorated. We raced in 10 minutes and 59 seconds. We started in Spanish, well, I won't say sunshine, but it was certainly a better afternoon than what we've got here. Race 3 has been red flagged and will not resume. Still trying to get word from race control on the situation. There is Salim Hanna, who has come home in P5 and the top rookie.
Martina, where's Keen and Seb? Keen and Seb, where are they? So we don't do podium?
So the podium is actually being prepared. This is a very provisional podium. It seems as though Sebastian Weldon will have to brave the rain and stand on the top step after we raced 10 minutes and 59 seconds. Salim Hanna, you just saw a moment ago. He's the top rookie. The second rookie, Andrea Dupé and Newman Chi.
Something I'm really happy of. It's a big step compared to the start of the year. The car has been feeling really great, especially in qualifying. It was really good. So yeah, I'm really thankful with my team, my engineer for the car. Race 1, I think was pretty good. We did a P2. Race 2, I had a lot of drag on the tires, so that cost me a little bit, and I finished 8th. And the last race, I think we did 5th. But yeah, overall not a bad week. Now we're going to the loaded tracks. I have a good feeling about it.
Salim Hanna just explaining to Martina of Prema Racing his situation. He has come home in P5 on a rain-shortened event here. So there will be no podium here in Barcelona. The result very provisional. That's the afternoon here on a very wet day in Spain. We'll see you in Misano the second week of October for the championship final, the 2025 Italian Championship. We'll see you in 3 weeks' time.
Pretty good weekend here for round 6 of the Italian Barcelona. I think we executed a pretty good qualifying.